Alright, today we're going to be creating a friendly letter in Google Docs, and the friendly letter has a special formatting. We talked about it just briefly. The heading, the friendly letter begins with a heading, which includes the sender's address and the date that the letter is written. That is indented over to the right-hand side. Then on the left-hand side, you begin with a greeting. The greeting generally starts with the word "Dear," is followed by the recipient's first and last name, and then has a comma. Then you have a line space, and you've got the body paragraphs. Each body paragraph is indented, and in between the body paragraphs you have an extra line space. Finally, at the end of the letter, you indent once again over to the right hand side, same amount that you did for the heading, and you add a closing and a signature. The closing includes a short capitalized expression such as "sincerely" or "yours truly," and then the signature is actually generally signed with a pen, by hand, not typewritten. We will be typewriting ours. We are going to practice by creating a letter to Grumpy Cat. And so some of you may be familiar with Grumpy Cat. He's actually kind of an internet star. He came about in 2012 and has since become very popular. He has a permanently kind of grumpy facial expression that is it's a result of something called feline dwarfism, and he has an underbite. So he's really kind of an odd looking cat. This is what our letter is going to look like. Okay, and we're now going to go ahead and get started. To get started, you need to go ahead and go to your Docs home. And when you go to your Docs home, you'll need to start a new document by clicking on the blank document. After clicking on that, we need to give it a name. So if you click up at the top, go ahead and enter a 2 or enter the hour that you're in, and follow that by your last name, your first initial, and then space dash space. And then you need to go ahead and put in letter diagram, because we are actually going to turn this into a diagram tomorrow. Now, to start with, we're going to need to indent for our heading. And to indent, we'll go ahead and come up here to our left indent, which is the triangle pointing down, and we're going to pull that over to the 4-inch mark. After pulling that over to the 4-inch mark, before we go any farther, I think you guys should go ahead and change your zoom level so that it matches my zoom level. To do that, if you go to settings and then go to zoom and click the down, you should be able to go to 90%. That's where I'm at. If you hold control down and you press the minus, that will also zoom out. But if you zoom out, your toolbars are going to look more like mine. I don't know what yours currently look like. It may be a little easier if you do that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change the font size to 12 for this project. You guys can set it to 11 or 12, your choice, but let's go ahead and leave the font as Arial to begin with. We'll go ahead and put in the heading. The heading will have the sender's address. So we put that in there so that if the recipient wants to mail a response back to us, they know where to send it. So we'll put in 124 West Prickly Pear Avenue, which is just a made-up address for Grumpy Cat. That's not really where he lives. Morristown, Arizona 85342. Okay. Now each time when I press enter, since I've already moved my indents, it's going to continue to stay at that indent spot over on the left hand side. Over on the right hand side at the 4-inch mark. So that'll work for us. And this is February 7th, 2017. Okay, after entering that, we need to put in 4 line spaces. So we need to hit enter once. That gets us to the next line, but doesn't actually give us the line space. Then we press enter again. That's 1 line space, 2, 3, 4 line spaces now. And we need to go ahead and move our indent back over to the left hand side. So if we go up to the left indent, we can click and drag that over. Now it's in the right spot, and we can write our greeting. Greetings generally begin with the word "Dear." and then they have the recipient's first and last name. So, dear Grumpy Cat. The greeting ends with a comma, and then you need to put in one line space. Now, to get the indenting for the body section of the letter, we can do one of two things. We can either press the tab key, which will just jump us over a half an inch, so the insertion point moves over a half an inch, or we can come up here and move our first line indent to half an inch. The advantage of moving the first line indent is the rest of my body paragraphs will also be indented to that same spot. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first paragraph of the body. Alright, so that first paragraph it says hello, tartar sauce, which is actually Grumpy Cat's name, aka Grumpy Cat. My name is, you need to replace these question marks with your actual name, and I am writing to thank you for being the grumpiest cat on the internet. I would also like to thank your uncle, Brian Bundison, for recognizing your talent and sharing that first image of you in September of 2012, which is when Grumpy Cat made his first appearance on the internet. Now, after you finish that one, that first paragraph, you need to press enter 2 times, and since I did move that first line indent over, I've already got the indenting for my next body paragraph. So I'll write my next body paragraph. Okay, the second paragraph talks about Grumpy Cat's photo sessions and feline dwarfism. It starts off with, I know it is not always easy being Grumpy Cat. The weekly photo sessions can be a nuisance. All those people laughing at you all the time is annoying. I also realize that not knowing your father may contribute to some buried anger that makes you frown. Fame is not all it is cut out to be. But you know your appeal is undeniable. Your permanently grumpy facial expression resulting from your feline dwarfism and underbite is hilarious. You are truly a star. Okay, after that paragraph, you'll once again need to press enter 2 times. That will get you down to the third paragraph. If you use the first line indent, it should already be indented. If it's not indented, go ahead and press the tab key, and now you will need to go ahead and put in the third paragraph. Okay, in this last paragraph, you're doing a little thank you to Grumpy Cat. It starts off with, my life truly changed when your image was first posted on Reddit. You have provided me with so much joy and laughter. I was often depressed and unhappy with my life before you arrived on the internet. I had no friends. I had nothing to talk about. Now things have totally changed. I wake up each morning and search for the latest memes, LOL cats, and parodies of you. There is no way I can completely convey my gratitude for what you have done. Okay, now we once again will put in 4 line spaces, so you're going to need to press enter once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then once more, and that will get you down to the 4 line spaces that you need. And we once again, to put in our closing and our signature, we're going to need to change our indenting. So I'm going to pull the first line indent back over so that it's even with the left hand side, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on the left indent and pull it over to 4 inches. That way it will be right below the heading, and we will put the closing. For the closing, use the word thanks, and then when you press enter, it will stay over on that left hand side, or excuse me, on the right hand side, and you need to put in a signature. And for the signature, you can go ahead and pick a font that you like. So I'm going to use Dancing Script and write your first and last name. Okay, and that's it for the letter. That is the format. It's got a heading with the sender's address and the date that it was written. It's got a greeting with dear and then the recipient's name followed by a comma. You've got a body where each paragraph has a space before it and then is indented. And finally, you've got a closing and a signature. The closing is followed by a comma. That's it. You're done with that. Make sure that you just hold on to it for tomorrow, because we're going to add something to it tomorrow. So good work, and work on it a little bit more tomorrow.